Hello, Crosspoint family. God's grace to you today. I trust you know the Lord's presence during this season of Lent. I pray that through some small sacrifice, or maybe through a new commitment to pray or read the Word, or maybe a combination of all that you are experiencing the Lord's grace and His presence in your life in these days of preparation for Easter Sunday morning. I was reading a little bit this morning, and I came across a quote by one of our early church fathers, Cyril of Alexandria. And I thought it was a timely quote for this Lenten season. He says, "Never forget that what gives value to a sacrifice is not the renouncement it demands, but the degree of love which inspires the renouncement." And so I remind you again today that it's not about giving something up severe or some great sacrifice, but it's the love with which we make the sacrifice with. It's our love of Christ and our desire to know Him more, to be closer to Him, that is important during this Lenten season. And I encourage you again that if it's been a struggle and you feel like you failed, that's part of what Lent is about, is learning our weakness and our need of Jesus and His grace and strengthening presence. And so if you've failed to fast something you gave up, or if you failed to get in the Bible reading today or yesterday or whatever it was, just let it be a reminder to you of our constant need of Christ, and get up and face the cross and keep walking towards Him. It's a journey. We're all on our journey to dying to ourselves and allowing Christ to live more fully through us. And so I encourage you today to just keep it up. Just take another step today and seek once again to be who God has enabled you to be through His Son, Jesus Christ. I want to remind you of some great things coming up in the life of our fellowship. We are kind of opening up more and more during this time. The virus numbers continue to do well, and I'm so excited about that. But we do have some special Lenten discipleship opportunities for you. And one of those, or two of those actually, I guess, is a different time than we've used in the past. And so I know it takes a little bit of time to get these new things in our thinking and in our schedules and our planning, but at 9:45 on Sunday mornings, we have an opportunity for families with children for a discipleship time, 9:45 to 10:15 in the Bridge Kids room. That gets you out in time for a little break before the service begins at 10:30. And also at 9:45, we have something for our young people, for the teenagers, over in the newly updated teen building, 9:45 to 10:15. And so I encourage you to take advantage of those. And then at that 10:30 slot, we still have Steve Phillips' class is meeting. And then we've combined Lester and Rusty's two classes. So both of those classes are meeting at 10:30. And I want to encourage you to come and be a part of those. And then on Wednesday evenings, we have a 6:30 prayer time in the sanctuary. Hope you'll join us tonight for that. We'll be meeting together, just spending a little extra time in prayer. Again, focusing our hearts on what Christ has done for us and preparing for Easter Sunday morning. Our teens are back with their midweek activities. They've been back for a few weeks now, but that is still happening. Get your young people here to be a part of that over in the teen building. And then at 7 o'clock, we also have some classes that kicked off last week. We've got the women's class that is meeting back there. They're doing a study on the book of Elijah, or on the prophet Elijah, and talking about him. So get the ladies out to be a part of that class. The men's class will start again this week at 7. We're talking about the book Discipled by Jesus. And just a way to focus our hearts during this Lenten season. Steve Phillips also has that midweek discipleship fellowship time at 7 o'clock, and so plan to come out and be a part of that. And Jerry Young is also having his men's recovery discipleship group that meets at 7. And so you can contact Jerry if you're interested in being part of that. But we encourage you to take advantage of those. And also, we've got some Crosspoint University classes coming out. The first ones will come out this Friday. And I know it's taken a while to get those out. They require so much work. The prep to writing the classes takes a lot of time and effort. And then we've got to schedule the filming of the classes. And then once we get those done, Ethan has to edit those for us and get those ready. Then he gets them to me. I review them and make sure they're all ready. And then I have to write the little quizzes that go along with the classes and then get them ready to publish online. And so it's a little bit of a process. But they're going to start coming out again this Friday. And we've got a bunch of different classes coming out. We're finishing up the Starting Point class. And so there's a couple more of those ready to come out. There's a 3-part class coming out on how to read the Bible devotionally. And the first two of those will come out this week, and so I encourage you to take advantage of those, especially during this Lenten season. Then we also have a class by Reverend Joel Byler on the importance of the Christian funeral. And that's an important thing to understand in this day and time. So many times here recently, I have families saying, well, we're just not going to do a service. And I want you to understand the importance of the Christian funeral. So I asked our brother Joel to help me with that. And then Reverend Janelle Byler, is teaching a class on the Christian perspective on mental health, also an important topic in this day and age. And then finally, we have a class by Amber Thornburn Humphrey on Nazarene Missions International and Faith Promise. And that's an important class. As we're coming up on here in April, we're going to have our Faith Promise together. And so be watching for those, take advantage of them, and all these opportunities during this time. I pray God's grace upon you. Hope again you're enjoying this season of Lent, and during this time of sacrifice and reflection on the passion of Jesus, I pray that you are receiving His grace more and more, and sense a growth period in your life. Lent often refers to a springtime in the soul, and so I pray you know that in these days. Look forward to being again with you on Sunday. God's grace to you.